that question over the law and order situation repeatedly being ruptured by massive incidents linked to the DMK.
Yes, KK, and we are not shocked, right? So this happens every time they come to power, so that the next 10 years is given to ADMK. So this has been the pattern throughout DMK's political career. And now looking at each of these incidents, latest is what these girls went through in the ECR road, where they were chased by a bunch of boys and harassed. And once again, the cops did not take immediate action. They took, I think, 24 hours to register the case, and that too, they named and shamed the victim once again. In fact, when they went to complain, the police were asking them, what were you doing so late in the, on the road? That means these guys have not read the earlier judgment when the judicial bench of Madras High Court pulled up the state as well as the Commissioner of Police, saying the same thing, repeating the same thing in the Anna University case, when they again said that, these girls, they talked about, her privacy, right to freedom and right to wear what she likes. Don't question her on all such things. Exactly. In fact, if she is inside the campus, it's your job to ensure that she's safe
Right.
and secure, and you cannot question her what she is wearing and whom she is with and what time she is out on the inside the campus. So they
Right.
gave a detailed judgment. In fact, that judgment is again thrown in
Fair
the
enough.
bin, and
KV
once
Lakshmana,
again, cops in Tamil Nadu.
there seems to be a pattern that is repeating, isn't it, from the Anna University sexual assault case to the latest on East Coast Road?
No, with DMK it is expected. Like taking off from where my colleague Muralidharan said, if we see the past DMK regime was known for the Gunda Raj and land grabs. So they are only progressing in the same direction. Law and order has always been the main stumbling block when DMK comes to power. The general perception that DMK is very hard on police and it tries to control and exert pressure and do all kinds of things. The popular perception among people, right or wrongly, is that when AIADMK comes to power, police is relatively free to act. So that is continuing, and this is one cross that DMK will have to bear in the elections to come now, with the allies also making noise about it.
Right.
It's not easy for DMK to shrug it off and behave as if, nothing has happened.
And the
It
Home
will have
Secretary has to
to
appear
be
before the court to explain why FIRs are not being filed on time, why cases are not being completed on time.
No, absolutely, because with DMK, with AIDMK and BJP also now exerting pressure, and BJP has been able to mount such pressure wherever it is in opposition, whether it is Bengal or whether it is now Tamil Nadu. So DMK this time is facing a much bigger opponent in terms of creating perception. AIDMK is, yes, it is a principal opposition party, but BJP is extremely powerful when it comes to media and making perception. So this time, if already we are seeing that in the past cases also, DMK has not come out with shining colors. So this is something that Stalin will have to, God knows what he is going to do, but he has to be seen doing
Right.
action.
Right. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, what can Stalin do at this stage?
Krishna, you said that the DMK government was in trouble at the beginning of the program. I think the people of Tamil Nadu are in trouble. The women of Tamil Nadu are in trouble. We can see that continuously over the last few incidents that has happened over the last 4 years. In fact, like the DMK structure is such that the incentive for the DMK cadres to work for during elections is to enjoy these cheap thrills, like indulge in hooliganism, apart from getting contracts and political powerful aggrandizements, right? And like what my previous panelists were saying, like this has been an age-old problem with DMK, like even from the time of Jayalalitha, Karunanidhi, where they used to accuse each other. And this Gundaism is the trademark of DMK. Let's not dilly-dally about it. But what has happened in the last few months is that the extent of politicization of the police, which is like very shocking. In many cases, the FIR is not filed. If FIR is filed, the private information of the victim is put forth, And all of this, and if not, there are acts of omission. For example, there are no patrol vehicles in ECR. Like if you are from Chennai, ECR is like one of the roads that is actually active almost 24 hours. You don't see any patrol vehicles there. So I think, and if you remember a few months ago, you had the route strategy where like the government was actually like speaking for the people who had committed the crime. So I think there's a breakdown of law and order, and this is a pattern, and they will feel the heat during the protest.
Right. Let me bring this back to Mr. Muralidharan. Mr. Muralidharan, and therein lies the larger issue over here. The fact that policing in the state seems to be in absolute downward spiral, and you have the Home Secretary now having to explain it to the Madras High Court.
Yeah, obvious, because even in the Vengaivayal case, it was completely mishandled. Even if let's say it was about throwing pieces into water tank, even if the accused were Dalits, the best way to handle that would have been call the Dalit leaders and tell them this has happened. So we would like to either close it without opening it or for debate, etc. Because it's been the Dalits who have been protesting against it, saying that we were mistreated like this with this incident. So if they were the accused, yes, that's the way to go. Or they could have informed the Madras High Court, who was investigating the matter, who was hearing this matter, in a sealed cover, saying that the sensitiveness of the issue is that it could open up a larger debate, or there could be outrage across the state, or they could lead to law and order situation. And due to that, we would like to by the close this case, etc. They could have given that in writing to the Madras High Court, but they didn't do either. Instead, they just straight away opened up and accused 3 boys and said, these are the accused, and we have filed charge sheet, and they will be arrested and they'll be tried. So that's absolute bizarre, because we have seen the same thing happening to a Ram Kumar, one boy, when there was an incident of one Sir Swati, I think, the girl was. Either she was victimized or she was abused, and the same thing happened. And this Ram Kumar, they picked him up from some village and put him in the prison in Chennai. And this guy, they claim to have bit the live electric wire, and he died. So it looks like the whole thing is a cover up, and the police is not doing the job. And police force, the Home Ministry, it's under the Chief Minister, and it's his portfolio. So if he's not going to, and it shows that Stalin is incapable of, keeping the law and order up in the state, and that's completely detrimental to the state as well as the police force.
Lakshmana, the issue here is that now it's come to a point where the criticism from the opposition and allies are sounding alike. And we're not very far away from when campaigning will begin for the next state assembly elections. Mr. Lakshmana.
We are in election mode already. What Annamalai, I think, has taken the lead over everybody else by starting, he was in a perpetual campaign mode. Whether it helps BJP or not, because they are divided, they are dividing the opposition votes. To that extent, maybe they are giving DMK a free run, but it will be under a severe challenge on the law and order issue. Just like every time it was defending and going up for re-election, one of the major causes for BJP's fall is its performance or non-performance on the law and order front. And this time also no different. And I think they are emboldened by the fact that opposition is fractured, and maybe, they will come out politically, they may gain because of this division. But if the opposition is relentless in its attack on this law and order issue, it is sure to make things much, much tougher for DMK than it thinks in the run up to the election.
Right. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, in the middle of all of this, it looks like the Anna University issue was the issue that just brought the entire opposition together, the kind of uproar it generated. And in that sense, BJP took the lead in taking up the issue.
Yes, I think the opposition is coming together because these are incidents that have to be condemned by everyone, including the DMK cadre himself. They also have mothers and daughters in their families, and it can be them as well. The DMK cadres, they do not actually spare anybody. So I think when you're talking about the Vengaivayal issue, Krishna, it's a sad indictment of the Dravidian model. Like there was fecal matter found in the society, in the water tank of a society that feeds the Dalit colonies, right? So I think when the Dravidian parties go to town saying that they are so much superior to say UP and Bihar and how they are the model of social justice, and you saw the evidence there. And this has happened after 50 years of Dravidian rule, in fact more than that. So I think it is for people to say like how the social justice of the state is progressing, and you said that like the Dalit parties are fighting, etc. The proof of the pudding is to see whether Tirumavavan cuts off ties with DMK in the run up to the elections. Otherwise, this is all bogus. Like they play these games, and ultimately, like see like what they have done. Like the two Dalit youths have been accused of doing this, right? So this is shambolic, and I think again we come back to this law and order issue, the politicization of police and administration, and this doesn't bode well for Tamil Nadu. And I think this will have repercussions not just for the confidence of the people; it will have second-order effects on investments and so on and so forth. And it doesn't look good at all for the government as well as for the state of Tamil Nadu.
Mr. Lakshmana, the only question here at this stage is that will the DMK end up losing allies at this stage?
See, the thing is, are you asking me, Krishna, or others?
Mr. Lakshmana.
No, I don't think that will happen. Although, these people will make some political noises here and there. But on the alliances front, DMK alliance is pretty strong. And it's going to be strong on that. There's no doubt about it. Especially given the fact that opposition is seemingly hopelessly divided as of now.
Okay.
So all that the DMK front has to do is stay intact.
Okay.
The electoral arithmetic is in its favor as of now. And also, if you please give me one more minute, what DMK and the ruling party is doing, it is exactly doing the same thing. Where if Annamalai is against it, but the BJP is not doing anything different in the states it is ruling. It's unfortunate that much worse crimes against women are being perpetuated in states ruled by the BJP. So, since in the internet age, information is available everywhere and spreads very fast, so the double standards of BJP is something that it may like to check once again before putting everybody else in the dock. This is the argument DMK is going to use against them eventually.